Hello, everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of the Cast and Chill podcast. I debated if we should call it the Cast and Chill podcast because it already has cast in the name.
Right.
Should we just call it the Cast and Chill?
I don't know. We should just probably call it the Cast and Chill podcast, and then we could probably slowly start to just call it Cast and Chill.
The podcast and chill.
No, just like the Cast and Chill podcast. That does sound really redundant, though.
Yeah.
We could like have like a
CNC.
We could come up with CNC. We could come up with like an intro slogan. It's like hi, welcome to Cast and Chill. The only podcast that'll give you diarrhea while you listen to it.
And then every time it'll be different.
Every time it'll be oh, that could be fun. Yeah.
So I'll say, hi, welcome to Cast, and then you say and chill or something like that.
That's so extra.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we got to do.
Right, fine. Well, let's give it a test now.
Remember back on Modcast when I would every single one of the episodes I would say my intro in a different language?
I feel like a bad friend because I don't remember that.
Oof, I did that for like 2 years, but all right.
It does sound like a very you thing though, but I guess yeah. Hi, welcome to Cast and Chill. It's a podcast.
So we've had the logo and the name and the stuff for this for I want to say like 2+ years maybe.
Although
it's been a long time.
Before we talk about what it is, we should probably introduce ourselves because there might be people here that have no idea who we are.
Right. So I'm Sam,
and I'm I was gonna just say that I'm Dean, but
but you already waited too long.
I'm actually...
No. In all seriousness, since we're not doing a video podcast this time around, it can be a bit confusing to learn people's voices. I'm Dean,
and I'm Sam. We also have YouTube handles. Mine is Corporal Saturn,
and mine is just Dean Weiss. I guess the username is Stupely and Heart, but yeah,
I'm sure the URLs will be on screen or in the description. So
probably.
Hopefully.
Unless you're listening to this in the future when we're on iTunes or something. Oh, wait, iTunes is not even a thing anymore, right?
It is actually on its way out, yeah. That was one of the things they announced at the Apple Developer Conference, whatever the hell it's called.
Okay, this is actually something that I wanted to talk about, and I forgot about this. Well, okay. Should we... should we like talk about ourselves first, or just jump into like a topic?
Maybe a little bit since it's the first episode.
All right, cool. So I make videos on Final Fantasy. I've been making them for almost 5 years at this point. It's my 5th anniversary in August, and my very first video was my ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, where I challenged Sam to do it. And every year when August rolls around, we're like, hey, are you gonna do it? Just as a joke, that say that it's like 5 years late, and he would say like, oh, I'm gonna do it for my 5,000 subscriber special and stuff, and it just never happens. Maybe 1 year.
Maybe I'll probably do it eventually. I will. I do promise to do it before I die.
That's what I said 2 years ago.
At least 5 years.
All right. But yeah, I'm currently still a sophomore. Technically, I already finished my second year of college, but I'm technically still a sophomore.
Why?
Studying music, because music takes a long time, and all my classes are worth like no credits. I would be taking like 7 or 8 classes per semester, but I'll still be behind like all the other kids that are just taking like 4 or 5. And so, yeah.
I don't know.
You want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Done 4 years of icebreakers. Hi, I'm Sam, or Corporal Saturn. I make it's still kind of like gaming and it's just like media related content, but I used to just kind of make like Let's Plays and stuff. Now I try to make more like entertainment style content.
It's the guy from Pixelmon.
I did gain a little bit of notoriety from Pixelmon. And I'm trying to distance myself from that because I didn't really enjoy making that content. My newest venture is On the Couch with Corporal. And I am pleased.
Which you've been talking about for a few years.
I've been talking about making that for a few years, and I never quite knew how I wanted to do it. But I think I finally landed on a way that I could do it, and it could still be at its heart the same kind of show that I wanted to make. I actually just graduated college. I have a job in web development now. It's an internship that might turn into a full-time job. We'll see how it goes. I'm working on web apps right now. I don't know how much I can talk about what I'm working on. So I'm not gonna talk about that much more. There's not really much more to tell. I'm working on web apps for a company.
Cool.
What else? I have to fill out some loan documents, which I haven't done yet.
Sounds fun.
It's kind of important because it's federal loans.
Yeah, I've been doing that stuff too for school, and yeah.
God, let's see, what else? What else did you say that I should?
I think that was it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
What are your interests? What do you like to do?
I really like computers. And just I like writing. I like
Look at
writing.
him.
I like
What a
writing.
nerd.
I have a plug actually. So I really like writing code, and I don't think enough people write code. So if you are interested in code and want to be a part of a new community, oh shit, or are looking to learn code and want to join a community of people that are like, I just got added to a fucking group on Snapchat. God damn it. Sorry.
Oh, that's fun.
But if you're looking to learn how to code, or you know how to code and you want to be part of like a kind of like a small-ish community, I do have a server called the Big Code Bin, where people can just share their projects and stuff like that. And yeah, if you want to learn code or you write code and you want to share your stuff, there will be a link in the YouTube version of this.
You get 15% off our first sponsor.
Yep.
First episode, and we've already got sponsors.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
That's actually, yeah. So
I guess
I did mention that. Did you want to talk about the like where these podcasts will be posted and kind of just like what the general flow will be?
Yeah, we were talking about this for a bit. I actually used to have a podcast on my channel back in the day. I actually used to be on my buddy Eliason's channel, and then we moved it to my channel called the Mog Cast, which is just about Final Fantasy. And I've I've been doing a podcast for a while, and I'm not saying that I'm good at them because they were all trash, but I have tried to like go into like what would it take to get your podcast onto like iTunes or what are like what's the one that like everyone uses on phones?
Spotify.
There's like one podcast app that like people use on phones.
Is it the podcast?
I don't remember
app,
what it's
or-
called.
Like, I mean, we can
It's not called like the podcast app. It has like a specific here. I'm gonna look it up. Podcast apps. It's probably like the first one that comes up.
Overcast?
No. Let's see.
There's Overcast, Google Podcast, Castro, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Laughable, Breaker, Castbox, Radio Public, iCatcher, Downcast, Podcast Republic.
What the hell?
Podcast Addict.
I think we're looking at the same one, but none of these are the one that I was thinking of. Huh? Maybe I just made it up.
You might have.
No, but I swear I saw Stitcher. I think that's the one I was thinking
Stitcher?
of. But you mentioned it, didn't you?
Nope. I've never even heard of Stitcher.
Okay. Well, apparently it's like one of the top ones. Anyways, like I looked into all of them. It's a lot harder to get your stuff into that than you would think.
Well, yeah. 'Cause, it's like YouTube where anyone can do it. So there has to be. If for it to have some semblance of professionalism, there needs to be a weeding system to keep out the people who are going to make uninspired stuff.
So for now, it's just on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens later, I guess. By the way, this is like just an audio podcast for now. We're thinking of doing this. I'm not really sure what day of the week this is releasing on, but we kind of want to do it like a weekly thing.
Mm-hmm. Saturdays, ideally.
And, probably. And then some of them, maybe like once a month, we'll have like a video one. But anyways, enough talking about like the future because that'll just happen eventually. I guess in terms of like me, I don't know. I like Disney. I like music. I play the piano and the drums and sing. And
I didn't know you played drum.
Really? I was a percussionist for like 4 years.
Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I don't remember you playing drums. I'm sure you might have told me at some point. But I was
actually still a percussionist when we met.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep, I do remember now. Actually, funny story, but I've been looking at getting an electric drum kit to put in my room.
Dude, oh my god, I want an electric drum kit. If anything, just because like they sound like nice. They sound like so nice. Because I have like a real one. Yeah. Well, yeah, and also you can play as loud as you want, and like you're still gonna hear the like the hitting of the thing.
But you'll hear.
Yeah, the only thing is like I've already got a drum set and a full like piano and like 3 guitars. I mean, and like I don't have anywhere to put any of this shit.
I mean, part of the reason I want an electric drum kit is to start like a little passion project. I've been dreaming about on the side, which I'm not going to mention because I don't want it stolen. But yeah. I've been wanting to do more stuff with music because I've been wanting to be able to combine my love of video with just a fun way to do stuff because music channels are like you got people like Seth Everman, This Davey guy, he plays the bass, phenomenally talented guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's essentially, I guess it's just a music YouTube channel, but it comes with a gimmick.
All right.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that like I was a percussionist all 3 years of middle school, and then into my freshman year of high school, which is when I met Sam. He was for the record, we don't know each other. I'm from Texas. Sam's from
we've never
New
met
York.
in real life, but we've been friends for
5-6 years
now.
Point. Yeah. I was a freshman. He was a junior, and I was still like in band. And the reason why I ultimately ended up quitting was because when you're in high school, you have to do marching, which means that I had to stay after school every single day for like an hour or two in the burning Texas sun during the like right after summer ended. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And so I just stuck with choir.
Makes sense.
And now I'm studying to be a choir director. So there's that.
Nice.
But yeah. Okay. So the thing that I was going to mention earlier that we kind of like went on a tangent, because you were talking about like the iTunes thing, right? That they announced that they were getting rid of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I, for the longest time, have been like a very strong, like very, very strong Android person for the phone. Yeah. But honestly, like lately, I've really heavily been considering just getting an iPhone with my next one, because the one that I have right now, it's an LG G6, which is a bit of an older phone. It came out like at the end of 2017, and for a while it was like okay, but eventually it started to run out of storage. It had 32 gigabytes of storage, which is like an okay amount.
I don't know how much my iPhone has. But it's funny you said it, because I want to get out of the iPhone ecosystem.
Really? Huh? That's interesting.
Well,
okay, so
they're like I recently learned this.
I would think that you like liking computers and all that stuff wouldn't really like the iPhone that much.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get out of the iPhone ecosystem. I like it because it's convenient, and I liked it because of iTunes. And also now the emojis and also group chats. But the thing that I found out recently, which I guess makes sense, is that every time you update your operating system, your battery life gets worse, and that's because on older phones, those older phones aren't designed to run the new OSs.
Yeah.
So
well,
and that makes sense, right? But it was never put in perspective for me until I'd heard that. I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why I'd never thought of that, because I'll get every time I get a new iPhone, works perfect. And then I'll update the operating system, and I'm like, this is starting to suck.
Yeah, that's kind of... I can't believe you'd ever realize that. The thing is, the problem is infinitely worse on Android, because you have to like fit a trillion different types of phone.
Oh yeah,
with one operating system.
Yep.
But okay, so like the thing that I was gonna say was it was running out of storage, and so one day, I was just like, you know what, fuck it, and I like it was kind of like that tweet that you said where you were like, man, I want M&Ms. You know what? I'm an adult. I got a car. I went down to the store. Long story short, I got M&Ms. Then you post a little picture of you with them. I was basically, I was like, you know what? I fucking need more storage. Fuck it. I got on the car. I drove to Walmart. I bought like two 200 gigabyte SD cards because I also needed one for my Switch. Put it in that.
Nice.
Put it in the phone. It was the hardest thing in the world to do. It took me 3 hours to be able to use that SD card properly on the phone. Because you have to like basically, some Android phones have this thing where you can register it so that it's registered like as internal storage, so the phone will say that it just has like 200 gigabytes instead of the 32.
Expandable memory. But the Switch does that.
A lot of them have that already built in. The one that I have is one of those that doesn't. So you had to do like this whole like entire workaround where like I had to like edit, I think it was like some kind of like code thing, and I had to download like an Android emulator. And it's the type of thing, have you ever been in those moments where like you look up a tutorial on how to do something, and in that video they do something that you don't know, so you look up a tutorial on how to do that, and in that video there's something, and next thing you know you're like 7 layers deep. You're doing something so you can do another thing, so you can do another thing, so you can do another thing, so you can
That's the point where it's just like
you got like 10 different applications downloaded on your computer, and your like phone is like plugged in and reset, and you had to like do the developer like tools and all these like weird things. At the end, I got it to work. Sadly, though, the stupidest thing. One of the main things that you would want to use more storage on your phone is for videos and pictures. I go into like the pictures settings. Right now it's an internal storage. If I click SD card, it says there's not enough space, even though I've got like 150 free gigabytes.
That sucks.
So yeah, I basically just use it for apps and stuff. But like as soon as I started doing that, the phone started to like its battery started to run out really fast, and it also started to heat up like really bad. And especially now that it's like summer and it's hot outside, if I'm like in the car, the phone is like unusable because the back will be like heating up so ridiculously bad. And I guess I could like remove the SD card and stuff, but I feel like at this point I already fucked it up, so I might as well take advantage of the extra storage that I have.
Yeah,
but like
use it as like a dummy phone or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, I'm kind of like tired because I never updated it. Okay, I updated it like right when I got it, and then I have not updated it since because I didn't want that to happen to it. And for the longest time it was fine, but I'm just like sick of them just getting so shitty like over time. I feel like obviously that does happen with iPhones, but I feel like it's not as bad. And really like the main thing that's keeping me away from that is just the fact that like once you're in it, it's like really hard to turn back around and to get out of it. They try their damnness to make sure that you stay there.
I think what I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably just like save up some money and get like the newest phone like when it drops. There's like at some point they're not gonna be able to continue to make hardware advances, right? Like if I get
you say that.
Well,
I don't know. They'll make like the tiniest little bit better.
There's no discernible difference between the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 8. There's not really much of a difference, even in terms of specs. Like I have an 8.
Yeah, but
like I was looking.
Yeah, but this one has the number 8 on the box, so it's $200 more expensive.
It actually funny. Well, actually, wasn't that more expensive either. I actually got my phone for free.
Which one do you have?
I think it's the 8.
Okay.
The big thing is wireless charging, which I think just Apple needs to fix how they roll out their operating systems. Like you don't notice it. I mean, like look at Windows. Even on laptops, it's flawless. But that's also because they only push OS updates like once every 6 months.
I don't know. I've had some laptops that like after a while.
But that's a laptop thing. That's not like an OS thing. Like laptops in general, the more they're
it's true.
Like, and this is because of the science of how rechargeable batteries work. Like batteries, like the cells in batteries, like they run in like a circle, and I'm probably getting a little bit of this wrong, but essentially, this is
100% right.
The more you force those cells to cycle, the harder a time they'll have of doing it. So ultimately, like you don't want to keep your thing plugged in constantly, and like that's
what I really liked about the old, because I used to have like an old, like before this I had like a Galaxy S5. On that one, if your battery like got real shit, you could just pop it open and put in a new one.
Yep.
But with this one, it's like the hardest thing in the world. It's well, without iPhones you can't do it at all. But with the one that I have, it's kind of got like this little like a back, but you're not supposed to be able to take it off. And I've seen a tutorial on how to do it. You got to heat up the back of the phone with like a hair dryer or something like that. Yeah. And then you have to insert a card into it and then have it go all the way around, then pop it open with a knife, and then when you're done, you have to glue it back on, which is like, I'm not going to do that.
That's so much.
Yeah, just to have like a decent battery. And so, yeah, like that's the main reason though why I don't want to get an iPhone, because like then it's going to be so easy. The thing too is that I think a lot of people that are like, I don't know, like artistic types or whatever, use iPhone, not necessarily, or Apple products in general, not necessarily because they're better, but more so just because it's like a cultural thing. Like maybe back in like the early 2000s, Apple products were better for that stuff. And so that's just what they learned to use. And then they taught, like maybe the teachers, they taught like their students like how to do it on that. And it just kind of carries over because literally everybody in the music school at my university uses iPhones. And it's so inconvenient because like they'll airdrop like the sheet music on my piano class to everybody else, and I'll be the one guy that has to get it emailed because I don't have an iPhone, or I have to rent an iPad from the school. And so they're making it like, at that point I'll be like, well, if I'm gonna have to keep renting one from the school, I might as well just buy an iPad. And now I also own an iPad, and then I'm gonna own a Mac and a freaking Apple Watch, and then next thing I know I won't be able to leave.
Why an Apple Watch?
I don't know. I'm just like, I'm just saying like they'll make it. Yeah. That's where I don't want to end up.
I know. So, like I did consider for a time getting the Google Pixel, but
yeah, that's the one that I wanted to, because it seems like it's the one that would be like the most custom built for that.
Right. But apparently,
Ali.
Or go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say like Ali. He's like super into like tech.
Yeah.
like specifically like for phones and like tablets and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he says that that's what the Google Pixel like was supposed to be. It was supposed to be like, you know, custom built for Android OS, but apparently like they couldn't do it just right. And I thought that that's what the whole like Fuchsia thing that they were doing was for, but he says that that's more so for like laptops rather than like phones. So I don't even know anymore.
The thing that immediately turned me away from Google Pixel was my aunt tried to set one up, and she was on Android, and it just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Like her messages weren't sending, like the phone wasn't getting her calls, and I don't know if that's like a use case thing or that's just like some kind of weird bug with Pixels.
I think,
and the other thing is I think you can only get a Pixel if you're on Verizon. And,
really?
I think so, and I just switched I switched carriers last summer because Verizon was overcharging.
Well, no, I think you can also get it on like the Google, whatever like their service thing is called.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have their own. But yeah, I think you're right about that. Well, actually, my stepdad, his phone was starting to heat up too. He had like another Galaxy, like not the newest one, but maybe like one or two before that. And he just said like he rolled out a software update and like he updated it. And it became like literally unusable to the point where like he ended up getting a new phone and he was like, hey, do you want, like, I'm not going to use this old phone. Do you want it? And I used it for 5 minutes and it was untouchable. The thing was so hot.
Jeez.
Like you could not use it. So I was like, no, I'm good. I think I'll stick with the one I have. But he ended up getting a Pixel 3 and I don't think that he had any issues with it. The one thing that I'll say is that every freaking time that he sends a picture anywhere, I'm always like, damn, that looks so good. I wish my phone had that camera.
I know, that camera is beautiful.
I didn't think that you would like, it would make that big of a difference. Nah, like you can tell.
No, it's like, was it, one of my ex-girlfriends, her friend had a Pixel, and they were at Five Guys, and my ex-girlfriend showed me a picture that her friend took of her. And I'm like, why did your friend bring a camera into Five Guys? She goes, no, Sam, that was taken with a Google Pixel. Like, there's depth of field. It's like, that's like insane. DSLR quality, and I was blown away by that. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you can tell when you take a picture on an iPhone or an Android, but that Pixel camera, God, absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning.
But much like DSLRs, it does have a really shitty audio, apparently.
Well, yeah,
like for videos and stuff.
Phone audio is it's in general shit.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I'll see what I end up doing. I'm really at a loss for phones because like they're so expensive and they come out every fucking year and you can't use the same one for more than 2 years because then it'll just be super slow and run out of battery.
I'm sure there's like some custom OS that like hybridizes, like, you know, like it has to exist, right? Like some kind of open source OS that runs on your phone that's like, we're gonna compartmentalize the parts of your phone that work, and the ones that will brick your OS or make your phone run slow, we're gonna turn them off. Like, I'm sure
probably is something like that. I'm sure it's not like the easiest thing in the world.
Right? Yeah, I'm sure it's a pain in the butt, but like ultimately, if you're willing to put up with it and become a part of that weird homebrew ecosystem, then you'll hope. I mean, the hope is that you'd be better off.
I guess I don't know. I just hate the fact that they're like stupid expensive.
Yeah.
Like they don't need to be that expensive, and they come out every single year.
Part of it
and they become outdated. If you take like a game console, it's like way more powerful.
Well, you know that
they're like half the price, sometimes even a third of the price, and they last like they don't get replaced for 6 years, and they still usually work for like 20 years or whatever.
Yeah, my Wii that I got, I don't know how that thing's been kicked, that thing's been tossed around. It still works like the day I bought it.
You drop the iPhone. Boom.
Well, actually, I mean, mine has an OtterBox on it.
Oh, I was also gonna say no headphones. That really sucks.
Well, I got over it pretty quick. I got wireless headphones. You know, I think it's like 3.5
not
millimeter.
AirPods.
Dean, I'm broke.
Okay, cool.
No, I don't know. I didn't get AirPods because I knew I would lose them. I'd put one down and I'd walk away and I'd be like, shit, where?
Damn. And so now you just have one and you wear like a regular headphone on the other side.
God. No, but I got over that pretty quick. And the truth of the matter is that the 3.5 millimeter jack, it's not great technology anymore.
Why did they get rid of it? It was because of the water resistance, or what was it?
That's part of it. But then the other part of it is like over time, 3.5 millimeter jacks just aren't great. Like you hear that noise whenever you unplug them and plug them back in.
Mm-hmm.
That's electric current.
Yeah.
And like over time, it ruins speakers. It's not great It was explained to me by someone who knows a lot more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean it's not convenient, or it's not inconvenient not to have it, but still. But yeah.
No, because I know that like my friends that like use iPhone, anytime that we're like on a Discord call, they're like, "Oh man, my phone's running out of battery," and so now you just got to deal with the echo that comes with like, because when the sound's coming out of the speaker.
That's why I got That's one of the reasons I got Bluetooth headphones, was so that I could charge my phone and also listen to stuff. But also, like, over-ear wireless headphones are super convenient because there's no way you'll lose them. And
those are the ones that like.
Oh, the ones I'm wearing now.
Those? Oh.
The ones I'm wearing now, the ones I wear in all the videos.
Oh, okay. I think I know which ones you're talking
They
about.
can be wired, and they're noise canceling when they are, but they're primarily wireless, and the quality's pretty good.
All right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for reasons to not have to buy an iPhone. I don't know. I wish that like I could pick out a phone that I like. Like I'll just be like, oh, I like this phone, but also be like, but I'll just pay an extra $300 and just give it like a stupid battery and like stupid, I don't know, like RAM or whatever makes it run. Like just totally overkill to the point where I'm never gonna need it.
Like a huge part of that is what the operating system does. Like it does get to the point where the hardware is not designed to run the operating system that is on it, and that's why you see battery functions. And you mentioned earlier how phones are way more expensive than consoles. A big part of that is resources are finite, and but also
a big part of it is that they just want to make money.
They want to make money, and there's this whole like proprietary parts thing. Apple in general is a shitty company because of how they handle people, but, it's like, Apple technicians are far and few in between, or whatever the expression is, and there's a reason for that. And it's because they're very finicky and stingy about who they let have access to their support documents. And they're one of the big scams they have, and I think they might have fixed this, is their water damage indicators react to moisture. So if you open when they open it in a humid space, the water indicators will turn. And they'll say, oh, your phone has water damage. And you'll be like, my phone has not been within 800 feet of water since I bought it. So you're clearly lying. I watched a video on this where a guy brought his Apple laptop to the Apple store, and they said, yeah, it has water damage. You're just going to need to buy a new one. And then he was like, I'm not going to do that. So then he brought it to a local technician who opened up the laptop and said, yeah, this display pin is bent. Let's just bend it back. And I won't charge you because that's outrageous that Apple wanted you to get a new one. And he's the one that actually explained, I think his name is Luis Rossmann. He said, yeah, the indicators turn when they're when in moisture. So if it's humid, like in a hot room, if it's humid, those indicators will turn then as well. So it's a broken system. And I think they fixed it, but it's still like how do I know if my phone has water damage? Like, isn't it supposed to be water resistant?
Supposedly, I guess.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Well, or water resilient or whatever.
Well, there's resistant and there's waterproof. Water resistant is like, I can take this in the shower, or I can drop this like in the sink and it should be fine.
Is that what that is? Freaking Rem of all people. He always texts me in the shower, or he's got like something that like it's just in the shower. Like, because anytime that I'll be, and like, he's never gonna see this. Low-key, I think that like he says that just because he wants, he likes people to ask him, oh, you have like a thing. He'll be like, yeah, I have this like 5,000 waterproof thing or whatever. But
no disrespect, but he does give off that kind of vibe, like he.
And so I purposely like never ask him about it. But yeah, like all the times like when I message him, he like, let me just get out of the shower, and I'll be like, oh, I guess he was there or something. So I don't know, but yeah, part of my 2017 choir trip vlog was recorded with an iPhone because it was a water ride that we were on at Six Flags. So yeah, I don't know. I'll see what I end up doing with the phone thing. It's just a pain.
Yeah.
But at least if I do end up getting an iPhone, I could back up from my old ass iPhone 4, which still has Flappy Bird on it. So I have it on my iPad and on my iPhone. I'm never deleting that shit.
Good. Good.
Can you still download it if you have it like on an old account?
I don't think so.
Okay, here's the thing. I was actually talking about this very thing with a friend of mine yesterday, and I think she has an iPhone 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And she tried to download it. Like, she went to the App Store and it didn't work. Like, you couldn't download it. But then I went on my iPad, because what I did was I backed up my old iPad. It's an iPad 2, so like really old. I backed it up to the computer and then put it on the school iPad that I would get, just so I had all my stuff there.
Yeah.
And so Flappy Bird was on that one. But then obviously I had to return it at the end of the semester. So I just backed it up, and now I just don't have any of that stuff until the semester starts back up in the fall. But on my old iPad, I went over to the App Store and I could still download it.
Right.
And I think that it's because it's on an old iOS before they didn't let you do that. And so I could theoretically just like keep cloning the app on that iPad endlessly. And then transfer it to other iPads.
I know that if you've downloaded an app, it'll always remember that you have it downloaded, even if you delete it. But like if it's been pulled from the App Store, you can't re-download it.
Wait, but I re-downloaded it,
and that might have something to do with the fact that it's not pinging an updated server or something. Maybe it isn't actually like when it deletes an app, it might keep like a cache of that app in case you deleting it was accidental.
I guess. But the thing is, I set this one up as a new iPad.
Oh well.
I just logged into my old iCloud or whatever thing. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
We talked about phones and shit for a long time.
How long? Oh, yeah, crap. It's been 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Weren't we going to... Didn't we have like a shit we were going to talk about?
We did have... Yeah, we had... So, how these are going to work is there is like a general list of things we want to hit on. But we're not gonna stick. We're not gonna be super strict about it. Obviously, we're gonna go off on tangents. We're gonna talk. It's
I think at this point that was just like the topic of this episode.
Just smartphones.
Yeah. We'll call it Apple sucks or something. Gotta get that SEO.
We could call it no more iTunes. We still haven't talked about the fact that there's not gonna be iTunes.
So okay, I didn't even watch the thing because, like I said, I'm not an Apple person. I'm not in there. So
also, I heard about it via Twitter and I heard about it by proxy.
So what's up with that? Like they're just getting rid of it?
I don't know. I guess so. Like they're probably going to keep their Apple Music thing, but like what about all the music I bought on iTunes? Like what?
Yeah, like is that going to transfer over, or will it? Because before iTunes used to be everything. You could buy like movies, shows, podcasts, and music, and I'm sure other stuff, right?
Apple is shutting on iTunes. Here's what will happen to your music. Users will have access to their entire music library, whether they downloaded the songs or purchased them. Okay, I mean, as long as I have access to the shit I bought, that's fine.
Do you buy like all your music like individually?
It depends. Some songs I did buy. The only album I've ever bought was Maroon 5 Hands All Over. And I found that recently, which was awesome. Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, like, I'm still gonna use Spotify.
Yeah, that's actually another thing because I use Android, so I can just download music and
they had
not
thing is,
pay for it.
If Apple Music were free, like it was similar. If it had like a similar thing where hey, like you can stream music for free, or you can pay for it, like great. But as it stands, there's almost no reason to get let's say like a year ago, like. There's no reason for you to at any point from like a year on, like a year ago on, buy songs in iTunes unless you like wanted to have them.
Yeah, well, I mean, you technically own them, whereas on a service like Spotify, you don't really own them, and when you stop paying for it, you don't have it anymore. So I guess there's that.
Well, you can still listen to songs for free on Spotify. You just get commercials every 30 minutes, and you can only skip 6 songs.
Yeah, no, I remember because so what I was going to say was that on my phone, because it's an Android, you could just download music. So it's fine. I don't need to have any of that stuff. But like I said, everyone in my school uses iPhone and Apple products. The teacher, would assign all of the songs that we had to listen to for the homework on Spotify. So I had to make a Spotify account, and obviously all the other kids, they have iPhones, so they already use the premium, but I didn't. And so I had to sit through those ads, and anytime that I was studying, I trying to cram right before the test, I wouldn't be able to skip the song and just listen to the beginning and memorize that. I would have to listen to the whole song before I could
Yeah.
before I could go on to the next one.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But yeah, so that's why, and that is why Spotify is under my school folder on my phone, because I don't use it outside of that.
I use it for driving. I just, like I said, I listen to you know, I use Spotify as opposed to Google, as opposed to iTunes now, because Apple
Yeah, it
is
really
not
does.
a great company.
It doesn't seem like why. Yeah, the system is so, you have to pay for literally everything. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
And so they're so they're breaking it up.
Everything they make and do is proprietary, like all their ports, all their like all their like third party accessories. Like you can't. It's stupid. It's so stupid.
Well, that's how they get you.
Like,
all the dongles that you have to have just to be able to get them to work with each other. Wasn't that like supposedly the convenience of Apple products, that they all work so well with each other?
Yeah,
then
but
why do I
they
need
don't
like
even
40
do that
dongles?
anymore. Yeah.
Like
I could open up this program on my computer right now called IntelliJ. I could write an app for Android and deploy it.
oh yeah, I forgot that thing that you were doing, like where for the longest you were trying to figure out how to do like a thing on Mac, like you were making an app.
Yep. I kind of figured it out. Your friend Angie was actually super helpful in that. It was, even though, you know, it didn't seem like a lot got accomplished, she was actually super instrumental in figuring out the right way to do it. But yeah.
So there you go. Thanks, Angie.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
thanks, Amber, Angie's sister, for lending her your laptop. But yeah, okay, so they're breaking it up now. So each one's gonna have its own app. Is that how it's gonna work? There's gonna be like Apple Music, and then like, what about like all the movies or like shows you buy, or like podcasts?
I don't even know.
Well, podcast has been separate for a while, actually, at this point, right?
Yes.
But movies and shows and stuff like that, I think was still on there. I mean, it's, like I said, it's been a while since I used
you'll have
it.
access to all your stuff. It'll probably just be like in a library.
I guess.
Like probably like I don't know. Like and if anyone knows, please let us know in the comments.
Because I was watching some people talk about it, and they were like, "I'm so glad because iTunes is trash," and I'm like, "Is it? I don't. Apparently, it's not that good. Is it just because they charge for everything, or does it like not work?"
What? Sorry, I'm they chart. Wait. Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
No, I was watching a video of someone talking about it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's good that they're doing that because iTunes is trash." And it's like, are they just saying that because like they charge for everything, or like does it not work, or is there problems with it?
The app itself is not great. So let's say you buy. So it used to be you buy a song. The only way to listen to it if you had it downloaded on your phone or if you are connected to the server on your computer. They rolled out a change that you could listen to songs that were stored on your iTunes account from wherever. Great in concept, right? Here's the problem. No matter how many times you changed it or told it to only play the offline songs, it still tries to play those online songs. No matter what. So like I bought the Diamond and Pearl soundtrack because I wanted 4 songs. It was like $8 for like all like 100 whatever songs. Like maybe I use these for a video. Whenever I plug in my phone to play the music, it'll start playing like the Amity Square theme, which I don't have downloaded onto my phone. It's in the cloud, and I've told it, I've configured it multiple times to only show and play songs that are on my phone, right? That are downloaded onto the phone. But of course, it doesn't remember that. It like sometimes it'll screw up parts of songs, and until you like restart your phone or delete and re-download it.
Oh God!
Like I had a song "Roxanne" by the Police on it, and the ending was screwed up. And I would listen to it on my computer. It was fine. It was the version that was on my phone, and I didn't know how to fix it.
What the hell?
Yeah,
that's so weird. How do you screw up like the?
It downloaded wrong or something, or like it screwed up and playback once, and my phone was like, "Oh, that's just the way that we need to play it back." Like iTunes,
that's hilarious.
Hasn't fundamentally worked in forever.
Damn. That sucks. Yeah, I was like I said, I was talking about this the other day with a friend, and I was just looking through my iPad on like old stuff that I bought, and I remember, because Sam, you know that I have like OCD or whatever, and I have to like basically like I bought every version of every like like App Store game back when I used to use like the iPhone and the iPad. So I've bought like every version of Angry Birds, every version of Fruit Ninja, and like Doodle Jump and Temple Run and like Cut the Rope and all of those. And the iPhone and the iPad versions. I bought them separately. I mean, for a lot of them, they were like together. If you bought like Minecraft, for example, if you bought it on one of them, you have it on the other.
Yeah.
But for some of them, I did go out of my way and bought it on both of them because you gotta have it on both. You gotta have every version. I also bought what are they? Like the Keynote and like there was like 6 different apps. It was like Keynote, GarageBand, iMovie, and like a bunch of other ones. Back when each one of them was like $9.
Yeah,
back when each one of the individual apps. Yeah, it's all free now, but I pay like $9 for each one of those apps because I'm insane, and it's a lot. I was looking through it and I'm like, this is a waste. I'm never gonna fucking. When am I gonna play Terraria on the iPad? Like, why?
I didn't even know it got a mobile release.
Dude, that's a long time ago. But yeah.
I remember.
I don't know.
I remember Terraria. God, it was fun.
At this point, I've already bought Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on Android, though, so there's no going back.
You could.
I guess technically I have invested more money into the App Store, though, so who knows?
I don't know. At the end of the day, like, I just, like I said, I use Spotify, so I'm slowly working my way out of the Apple ecosystem. It's just, it's the convenience. A lot of my friends have iPhones, so at this point, it's really just the convenience of having an iPhone because all my friends have iPhones.
You're one of those people that are like, it's just because I want to have the blue bubble instead of the green bubble.
Honestly, kind of, yeah. Those green messages, are, like, I swear they picked that green on purpose, because sometimes those messages are impossible to read.
Okay, what I was going to say was that for the longest time, I thought that was the stupidest thing in the world. Like, oh, it's a different color, and therefore, I'll be the one. But like,
well, it's a completely different kind of messaging, right?
Well, no, yeah. It wasn't until I saw a video on it, like, not too long ago that I was like, oh, like, there's actually a lot of benefits to this. It's not just the color. I mean, obviously, like, that's part of it, just the blatant elitism. But, like, there's also, like, you can send better quality pictures or stuff like that,
yep,
or you
your
can
messages are they're encrypted, which is another thing.
You can do the Apple Pay, so you can just pay someone back like through a message, which is really convenient. Then obviously there's like FaceTime, which is like standardized, and like obviously there's like I don't know WhatsApp and like Messenger and stuff like that, but that's not universal. That's just.
And if you have a Mac, like you can answer your iMessage. You can answer your. I don't know if it's just iMessages, but like you can answer text from your computer, which is insane.
I think it might just be iMessage, because back in the day I used to have an iPad and you used to be able to do it with iMessage as well. But yeah, like apparently there is like a lot of benefits, which I think makes sense. I wish that Android would do something like that, because it is true that it just feels kind of like, I don't know, using like SMS on Android, I would rather do anything but that, like use anything. But I don't know. I keep going back to like, I don't know, maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't. It is also a lot of money, so even if I do get it, it's probably not going to be anytime soon. So
you could support Dean on Patreon or become a member of either of our YouTube channels.
Yeah, do that. But for me, mostly Patreon, because you get more of the money instead of
that is something
YouTube
that we're going to have to figure
cut
out if we ever monetize this channel, is the revenue split.
Yeah,
I mean
it's actually not the hardest thing in the world to monetize a channel anymore. It used to be really hard.
I'm saying, like, how are we going to realistically split the profits?
No, yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
But, it's not as hard as it used to be.
I remember back when you used to have to be like million subscribers.
You remember, like,
that was the only way.
Remember like 10 years ago when having like 3,000 subscribers was a huge deal? I remember like some of my favorite channels, like, I thought they were huge, and they had like 50,000, 10,000 subscribers. Now, that's considered a small channel. That's considered a small
there was
channel.
always big channels, though.
Well, yeah, but like, those were like, damn it, I lost my train of thought.
I feel like we just had like kind of a skewed perspective because we weren't YouTubers, and so we just saw a big number. Like off the top of your head, if you ask some random person, they probably couldn't tell you like more or less how many subs the people that they're subscribed to have. They just kind of know that they're big, and they just assume that all of them are about on the same level, unless there's someone that's like clearly, like a smaller channel. But once you start doing YouTube and you start paying attention to your numbers, and in comparison to other numbers, it's a lot more. Yeah, like you start being more aware of that. I don't know. I'd be interested in knowing if like people actually do pay attention to that kind of stuff, because I didn't for the longest time up until I got my channel. So I don't know. But we'll see.
You've got what, like 12,000 subscribers now?
For the longest time, I've been 12,
And
almost 13.
I've
So
got 5,000, and like those are fairly impressive numbers, all things considered. Still, nothing.
I mean,
They're still nothing compared to like, some channels that get 100K overnight because they figure out how to do something right.
well, Sam, that's this channel.
Maybe.
Watch. You just watch. By tomorrow, even though the video's not even going to be out yet, by tomorrow the channel's going to have 100,000 million subscribers.
I don't even. Well,
we're going to beat T-Series.
Whatever happened to him?
Well, PewDiePie announced that the race was over because he was shutting it down, and then no one cared about them anymore.
It's amazing. Like, that's incredible. He shut that whole thing down.
No, it's incredible how irrelevant that channel is without him. Really, like they may be the number one, but no one cares about them
they were
outside of that
popularity because of him. And now that he's not talking about them, it's only a matter.
Okay. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true because I think Indian people would have subscribed anyways.
Sorry.
But like,
I should say, well, yeah.
Until like Western mainstream, it wasn't really a thing until he kind of brought it up, and then once he told people to kind of like stop doing that, it just kind of went off all our radar. I'm sure it's still a huge thing in India. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, and like I know the big thing for me was it's a corporation versus a person. This is like someone like a corporation that uploads hundreds of videos like a week. And they're just ripped.
I honestly I don't know who the hell would ever want to be subscribed to a channel like that. That sounds awful.
Well, I mean,
like go into your sub box and have it be nothing but that.
It's a cultural thing. Like the availability of that stuff, apparently.
Yeah, but if you need any if you want to hear like a song or watch a commercial for some Bollywood thing, like you just look it up. I feel like I don't want because I'm sure that like any one person that's subscribed to that doesn't care about 90% of the stuff that they post.
Well, it's like Netflix, right?
Yeah, but you're not gonna. Yeah, but imagine if every single movie that Netflix released came up on your sub box.
It technically does.
Well, that's only when you open Netflix when you specifically want to watch a movie.
Right.
They're not like organized in order. I feel like when you subscribe to a channel, it's because you want to see that channel's uploads. And I don't think that there's one person out there that would genuinely want to see everything that they upload on top of other creators that they're subscribed to. Like, I don't get subscribed to channels like that.
I guess, I don't know. Like, and the thing is, we're not from India, so there might be another cultural level that we're missing. And again, if we hit on something and we are just incorrect, or there's like a perspective that we're missing in general with any of these discussions, just let us know in the comments. We'll try and reply because we don't want to be ignorant. We want to make sure that we know what we're talking about. That's why I'm always I try to be whenever we talk about something and I don't 100% know what I'm talking about, I will always try and either start with that or try and make that point very clear.
Yeah, it might the only thing that I can think of is it might be like a patriotic thing.
Yeah, no, I know.
They're
that.
I want an Indian channel to be number one.
I know
and
that is a huge part of it. That is a huge part of it.
That could be it, but I don't know, because for the longest time I didn't care because I didn't watch PewDiePie ever. There's people that grew up watching PewDiePie.
I still think that he's kind of a piece of shit. I'll be honest.
Really?
Well, because he started the adpocalypse.
I think that was
okay, maybe
kind of on accident,
but.
No. He started it. Let's be clear. He did start it. I looked it up, by the way. Officially, there's been 4 adpocalypses. Yeah. Yep. 2 of them this year. That's insane that there was 2 this year alone.
Matt Watson asshole.
Yeah, and the other one was that dude about the whole pedophilia thing.
That's Matt Watson.
Oh, well then there was another one this year. Obviously there was the original one, and then there was one last year too. But I've heard people talk about it, and it really is I think that advertisers don't even care. I think they don't really care. They're only doing it because if they threaten YouTube with leaving, they'll get better deals. That's the only reason they do it. They don't actually care about the type of content that's on their stuff.
Right. And I will say I think that PewDiePie, Felix, whatever he prefers to be called, I think he's better now. I've watched some of his videos in the past year, and I think he's very mature, very aware of who he is and what he's done. But those 3-4 years ago when he said the N-word in PUBG, or he did those anti-Semitic things, the anti-Semitic things, he did it because he could. That I think that isn't that what he said? He's I wanted, I wanted to prove a point or something.
I think that he wanted to show, that was when he paid to have the people hold up the sign that said that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that he just did it because like he wanted to show how ridiculous this was that you could like pay someone to do something like that.
I mean, and I don't know, like I do think he probably, well, obviously he wouldn't do those same things now, but like even if he hadn't done those things, I think, well, or maybe I don't know, it's hard to say, but like I think current PewDiePie is a lot better than the PewDiePie that did those terrible.
Well, where I was going is that like I never grew up watching him. Like back when he got big in like 2013 and like that, stuff. Like for all those like gaming stuff, and everyone was like all about him. I was like, no, this is like I don't like this. Like this is like it's fine if other people like him, but this is just not my thing. And then
I didn't understand what was special about him. Like he's just kind of loud and annoying.
I mean, sometimes that's all you need on YouTube, sadly. Yeah. But it wasn't actually until like a lot more recent. I'm talking like January of this year, because people would be talking about like the whole T-Series versus PewDiePie thing, and like it'll have been going on for 4 months, and somebody will bring it up and it'll be like, "Oh, they still didn't beat him. I thought he got beat out like months ago." Just because it was completely out of my radar.
They beat him.
No. This was before. This was before they beat him.
Yeah.
But when they hadn't passed him, and then. It wasn't actually until, of all things, so the thing is, like, I don't watch Jack's films, but I am aware that he exists, and I knew that he had that one series, Yai. Yeah, and then I think it was like a video or a tweet or something, but like he had said like Yai is better than Lawai, and I was like, what the hell is Lawai? Keep in mind this was like in January.
Yeah.
This and they're like, apparently it's a PewDiePie series, and I'm like, well, he based a whole series off of copying this other one, and I watched it. I opened up the playlist and I watched like the first one, and it's funny because if you go back to like the first videos of Lawai, they were literally just people memeing on how he had no original content and they wanted the old PewDiePie back. Meanwhile, here I am sitting going, this is like some of the most original stuff he's done. I didn't like the old PewDiePie. I don't want him to go back to that.
No,
and
then the review was hilarious.
And so then I started watching the other series, like the meme review and the Pew News and the Skrata and all that stuff. And then I subscribed.
To give my opinion. What?
And now I watch his videos every single day. So
he's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. He's intelligent with how he delivers his
big part of it is because he made so many damn mistakes.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is the rest of us have to pay for those, and I'll admittedly I do still resent him for it. But
I mean, I don't think obviously it was a mistake. It was a mistake. He didn't.
Well, I mean, it's like
want that to happen to everybody else.
It's like the crumpling the paper metaphor, right? You can crumple a piece of paper, you can like try and smooth it out, but at the end of the day, you're still going to be able to see those wrinkles, those ripples.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what he did, right? Like, he can apologize and we can forgive him, but what he did is still going to have lasting effects. And and that's why, like, I do admittedly resent him a little bit for it. I still respect him I respect him as a content creator, and I genuinely hope that he has nothing but success going forward, but I still think that what he did was inexcusable, and had he thought a little bit more, he probably...
To be fair, though, like I was saying earlier, it is also in big part due to companies just wanting better deals. Because they just kind of used his like little fuck up as an excuse to threaten to leave YouTube, and now YouTube will be like, oh no, like we'll give you more of the cut or whatever, or like stuff like that. Like I've heard that like really that's the main reason that companies like they're like, we don't really care about that stuff. It's just because other companies were doing it, and so it just kind of all fed itself. Like obviously it was because of him, but I think that they were just using it as an excuse more so than an actual reason. Because there's like ads on TV shows and stuff like that are way worse than some of the stuff that would get demonetized on YouTube, and they don't care about that. And
now it kind of gets to the point where you see a lot of the same ads. Like I can recall a time where, pardon me. I can recall a time where I would watch the video and I would not see two of the same ad from the same company. And now I'm surprised if after watching two videos, I see a different ad. Although now, your ad experience is a lot more tailored to what you're watching. So,
yeah.
But still, like, I see the same, like, Monday because I started working and I started researching stuff for work. I'm getting ads for Monday.com, which is a scheduling system. I
don't think I've ever gotten that ad.
Right, yeah, it's relevant to your search habits and your browsing habits and stuff. And and it's just, it's a very different YouTube. And then you have completely tasteless ads, like this Jump Cut Academy, where you have a man in a hospital bed, and so you have a man in a hospital bed, and he's dying, and this asshole comes out and says, "Ignore this guy. His life sucked because he went to college and wasted his money on a degree." I'm like, what? Like, why would you? There are probably millions of people that are struggling, like, to with the idea of, if whether or not their degree has a point or not. And this guy is just like, yeah, screw you. This guy went to college and got a degree. It's like, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm in college. And he's like,
well, that's why you just get viral, Sam.
And it's like, and then like, and the product is useless. Like, the ad was tone deaf. Like I'm sure it doesn't sound that bad, but the ad, just watching it was tone deaf.
Why do you get recommended that?
Jump Cut Academy hospital ad.
I'm not seeing a lot on this when I'm looking it up. Jump Cut Academy 2.0 exposed. Is Jump Cut a scam?
It is a scam, first of all.
What do they do though? What's the what do they? What?
I think it's a shitty MCN.
Oh, that makes so much sense, man. I'm so glad that MCNs are dying. I just recently left my MCN not too long ago.
Yeah.
They were taking a cut of my revenue. They were taking like 10% for like the longest time. That entire time I could have been making 100% of my money, but I just didn't because I was dumb. And I'm really glad that that whole thing with Defy happened. Was it last year or was it this year?
It was this year. It was a few months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I'm glad that all that stuff happened because it really shed a light on just how shitty MCNs are. And it's true, you really don't need them. And so I'm finally out of that. Partner directly through AdSense. Mm-hmm. I still actually need to set up the thing so that I can get paid electronically, but I'll figure that out later. Were you ever with an MCN, Sam?
Yeah, I was with Full Screen for 2 years. And then
did they have you in a contract?
Yep. I said so there was a rollover, and I was like, well, crap. And I was like, all right. And I emailed them. I was like, listen, I know I missed the deadline, and I'm not saying I want out of my contract now, but I'm telling you now, I don't want to renew my contract. I do not want to.
Okay. Because YouTube has an option where you can disconnect a network from your channel.
But you still sign a contract, so if they wanted to, they could take legal action against you.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, yeah, that's what the one that I joined. I was with Curse,
Mm-hmm.
which they you can leave whenever you want, and they would only take 10%, which it
doesn't sound that
admittedly,
bad. MCNs aren't inherently evil. It's just and for starting out channels, they might be just what you need if you're worried more about money, more about exposure than money. But
nah, but I don't think that they did anything
exactly.
For exposure
It
for
gets
me.
to the point where it's well, what are you doing for me?
Well, the only reason why I joined was because I thought you had to, and there was a point back in the day when you did have to.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, nowadays you really don't, and there's no downside other than, like I said, you only get paid. You only get paid when you make $100 instead of back on my old one. If you could make $40 and they would still pay you. Yeah. I mean, they would take the 10%, like I said, so you get 36. But
if your videos are getting the same amount of views, there's no point. If you join an MCN and you notice that your videos are getting significantly more views, yes, you're doing something right. If you're building a network, if you're meeting people, yes, you're doing something right. You don't need an MCN to build a network, but again, MCNs can be helpful for boosting your views initially. But I don't know, recently they've just been taking money and not doing anything.
They really don't do anything though. Most of them, they just take your money and they don't give you anything in return, almost. Right. At least for me, that's my experience.
Well, when I first joined Full Screen, my views did increase. I did see about a 10% increase in my views, and I did network.
That could have just been your videos though.
But I would share them on the Full Screen networking thing, and I would get people interacting with me.
You could theoretically just share the videos on other stuff,
right?
Though.
But you could. It was just for me at first, it did work out. I did see an increase in my views, and and that was good, but I did decide to leave Full Screen. It's well, you're just taking money, and if I'm not making any money, I'd like to not make money on my own merit.
Yeah.
I don't want there to be a middleman involved.
No, yeah. For me, I was watching like a bunch of videos on it when that whole controversy went down, and people were really saying like that unless the network can somehow offer you like 100% cut of your revenue, then you really shouldn't accept it. And I was like, all right, cool. So I messaged them, asked if I could get it. They were like, no. And then I just asked to get out. Nice and simple. Actually, with the first guy that I emailed about it, I think I might have told you about this, Sam. He wouldn't respond to me for like 3 days, and then I'd be like, hey man, any update on like me leaving? And then no response. I had to actually end up messaging them again on a separate thing and tell them that they didn't answer. And then it still took a couple days for them to like disconnect me. And then after I did that, all of my videos got claimed by them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I've never seen this before, ever in my 5 years of YouTube. I've never seen that type of claim before, because it wasn't a copyright claim. It was just a claim to the rights of the video. And so you couldn't dispute it.
Yeah.
You couldn't dispute it. Like if you went onto the copyright thing, it wasn't there because there was no clip that was their content. It was just like the video was owned by them. And so I emailed them about it, and they were like, yeah, just dispute it and we'll release it. But I'm like, I literally can't dispute it. I ended up looking it up. They said that it was like a glitch of the YouTube system. I ended up looking it up, and people said that like you have to go into the video manager and like enable monetization. That's when you get it back. And I had to do that individually for like all my 200 videos or whatever. I sat down one morning and I did it, but it was a pain.
You are a trooper. Yeah, I didn't have that problem, thankfully.
Yeah, because like it being a glitch from YouTube is very convenient that even after you leave, they still get all the money from the videos, unless you manually go in and do this thing that takes a long time and not a lot of people would be willing to sit down and do.
Yeah.
It's very convenient. But whatever, I mean, I'm out of it now, so that's good. Yep. But yeah, we've been talking for a while at this point. It's been about an hour.
Yep. All right. I mean, yeah, we can. Yeah, I think it's probably a pretty decent point to wrap up.
So
it's funny. We wanted to talk about E3 a little bit. But
yeah, and Keanu Reeves,
did not get to that.
And at this point, like next week, it's gonna be uber. I mean, if it was irrelevant this week, next week it's gonna be uber irrelevant. So that train kind of sailed.
We can still talk about Borderlands 3. That's still like it's relevant enough.
All right, Sam, you want to talk about Borderlands?
I do want to talk about Borderlands, but we are at an hour.
So what did we end up talking about today? Phones. We talked about Apple, MCNs,
we talked about, like,
PewDiePie,
companies in general. Actually, that seems to be a big overarching theme.
Companies are evil.
Yes.
That's the moral of the story, guys.
Companies are evil. Capitalism is a scam. Let's all be communist.
Yes. All right. Bum, 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 ba-dum. All right. Well, how are we gonna do this outro?
So yeah, thank you so much for listening to Cast and Chill, the only podcast that'll give you diarrhea while you're listening to it. No, I can't end it like that.
No. I think that's the perfect ending.
No, but seriously, thank you for listening to Cast and Chill. Just two dudes talking and chilling. I've been your host, Sam.
I've been Dean. You can find me everywhere at Stupely and Heart.
You can find me on Twitter at Samuel Quinones1. That's SamuelQuinones, and then the number 1 on Twitter. YouTube.com.
Probably in the description.
Also probably in the description. You can also find me at youtube.com/C/Corporal Saturn. Or
I actually don't think you need to see.
Oh well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, just youtube.com/Corporal Saturn. What else? I have a website, but that's not really up to date, so I need to go and change that.
Help us get to 100 subscribers so that we can claim the URL Cast and Chill.
Please.
Before someone beats us to it, because we know that it's a very common name that there's a lot of competition for.
We both have Discord servers. You can join those. I don't know if those will be linked, but if you want to get into those. Yeah, we'll link them. We'll link them both for this episode.
Well, I mean, those servers are more for like our channels and like game, or like for me specifically, it's like about a game. I don't know. Just follow us if you feel like it or not. This intro's been dragged out for too long. We'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Good night.